Hey everyone, this is Kiana, your host of Q for Christ, and I am so thrilled and excited to be back here today. I tell you, it has been a while. These last 2 weeks have been kind of a drag. Okay, I've been trying to get back into the swing of everything, but I am here. I am here. And so today we got another Q&A with Q and J. I'm so excited. And but first I want to say thank you to everyone that has liked, shared, commented, whatever you've done. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. And I don't take it kindly about being a vessel for Christ and being able to be a voice for our people. We need to have this. So I just want to say thank you for that. And also make sure you are liking, you are sharing, you are commenting, so I can know you were here. That way we can be able to say thank you and reach out to you. So, but anyways, I am here with another Q&A with Q and J. It's been a while, a while, a while. So how are you today, Jason?
I'm actually great. I'm wonderful. Glad to be back. Um, been a little busy, but I guess that's a good thing
Right.
because at a idle mind is a devil workshop.
Ooh,
So
you better say that, child.
try to keep, try to keep busy and try to do their work for the people and keep moving. But glad to be back. Hopefully we can continue to do uh um keep continue to do these and glad to be here. Let's do it.
I'm so excited. I'm so glad to see you. And last time I seen you, I think it was around grandma's birthday. I think,
Right.
we were, our grandmother turned 100 years old. And
Yeah.
so we were able to celebrate her in her style. Like,
Mm.
I have to make sure I say her style because, she ain't want to go nowhere. But that's a good thing anyways. And if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. It's on, on YouTube. But so anyways, today we are here with a serious matter that, we just want to put our little spin on it, our little 2 cent on it, about, the gun control and about all this gun violence that's been going on, and not just across not just here in Macon, but across the world. It's been so many gun violence, and we just want to be able to talk about it, right? And so I wanted to bring my cousin on here because I know he has something good to say about this. So today, like I said, I'm not sure if you're familiar about the mass shooting that happened a few days ago. And it was so traumatic that, in Nashville, that I mean, this, this individual wanted to go in and just kill 6 people. And it's just so awful because our children can't, even be safe in a school where they had it locked. It looked like they had the doors locked. And, and it's so sad that our children can't go to school and get an education without worrying about gun control. And so we just wanted to get on here. I just wanted to see what my cousin had for us because it's been something that's been on my mind. We talk about whether our children have a future. We train up our children in the way that they supposed to go, and then they go out, and then now the enemy is out there. And that's why we have to make sure that we are prepared for what the enemy is trying to bring our way. So I just wanted to talk to my cousin and to see um how he felt about this. So hey,
Yeah.
he went away for a second. It's okay. It's all
Bad,
right.
bad weather.
So all right. So, but anyways, and the thing about it, we not that far from, from all the gun violence that has been going here in Macon, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, man, it's been some serious, like, some serious shootings at funerals, type ordeal. So, but anyways, what I wanted to ask you, cousin, is,
Mhm.
just what are your thoughts when it comes to us trying to figure out a way, on this gun violence, first off? What do you think that is the reason, like the root cause of all this gun violence that's been going on?
Well, um, I think that it is not a magic bullet. No pun intended. We we have went too far where it's kind of hard to go back.
Right.
See, when it's only a negative and a positive. About like in the scripture where it say you can't be lukewarm. You have to
Right.
be uh, on fire and hot.
Right.
So I think the negative part of the country and of ourselves is showing. Um, I think that we have glorified the wrong people, the wrong um, ideology, the wrong studies,
Right. That is
the wrong culture. Um, you have to be accountable for your action. So just like when you are doing things the wrong way, well, when you get too far gone, then you can get back, but it'll be a little harder to get back.
Ooh, you better say that.
Yeah. So, um, if you do things in the right manner and the right order, like a recipe, then things will turn out like it's supposed to.
Right.
Um, what we have done as a society and as a people, we have we always want to do things our way, no matter
Right.
if it's a negative um, consequence, or
Right.
we always want to shape things that how we want to shape it,
Right.
because even a newborn baby know the difference between right and wrong. That's something that you are born with. That's something that's embedded in your DNA.
Right.
Um, just actual principles of respect and you know being pure, and, regular morals and values. And I think that as we drift away from that boat that I'm going to use as an allegory, it's
Mhm.
getting harder to swim back as we drifted farther away. Now,
Ooh.
we're not far where we can't go back, but um, we really have to do a lot of changing. I
Right.
A lot of people will say that change needs to be done as a collective, and they're right, but change has to start with your individual self first.
Right.
So everyone needs to work on themselves first, individually, and then we can start working on each other in a collective manner. So I think that a lot of this turmoil and a lot of this violence is because that we're not doing things in the right manner, in the orderly manner. It's a lot of evil that is clouding up, and
Right.
you can feel it. The righteous people
Right.
can feel it. It's like the feeling that you feel like when you around good family and good friends. It's sort of like a
Right.
natural high. You can also feel evilness, and you feel it out here.
Mm-mm.
Uh, and it's because that we're simply are not doing things right, and we don't have the proper leaders. We don't have the
Ooh.
proper family structure. Um, Now, I'm gonna say something controversial because we all use social media. Social media is a good thing, but those days that we actually met up with our family members and sat down and ate and talked with each other and met our cousins, and those days are fading away.
Right.
Because we think that um, you know, a FaceTime or actually seeing something over a wireless device is actually seeing and meeting that person. But back in the day, we actually touched our people. We hugged them. We felt the emotion. The family structure was better. So I think we're slowly drifting away from um, our natural culture, and we have looked up and praised the wrong people, and we got to get back to just being normal.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And I mean that's so true. And I was looking, how the Bible says in James 4 and 17. So whoever knows the right thing to do and fails to do it, for him it is sin. So we know that the evil people are out here, like you said, it's just so much evil intent. Like you can feel it. It's like you can cut it with a knife. You know what I'm saying? Because and like you said, how people have resulted to this FaceTime, and we don't love on each other like we should, and we don't be able to actually touch each other, and I know, of course, I'm a utilizer of the internet, but I'm also one that, like, hey, let's get our family together, because we need to see each other and be able to talk. And like you said, a lot of people have grown up and they don't feel the love like that, and we could talk about how we used to always get together. It was always going to our family reunions, and every summer we were always somewhere different going on our family reunion. And so that's a good point that you say about the love and the evil that is out here. We have to, I'm telling you. And I was talking about how, well, when you said something about how, people they are being raised the wrong way. And a lot of people in, and I want to say, like these, drug dealers, or, people that are training their children up to hate people, or to say that, if somebody look at you wrong, or somebody that, and now we are competing with each other, you know, and being that we have so much access to getting guns, and we have so much access to getting the things that back in the day, it was hard to get a gun. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be honest, it was unheard of for us to even know somebody with a gun.
Unheard of. It was unheard of. Exactly. Yeah.
My daddy had a gun, and we used to be scared of that junk.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly. Yeah, these was our fine tool right here.
Right.
Yeah, that was our fine tool.
Right. Yeah. So do you think?
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, do you think we will ever get back to where you can not compete with each other, when it comes to trying to feel the love that we have?
You mean in well, let me say it like that. In certain aspects of the community, if you stay within a demographic of a certain place, no, I don't think it's I think we're too far gone on certain issue like like gun violence. We're too far gone.
Right.
Let the government just come and just virtually take people guns. We know that they're not gonna happen.
Right. True.
But I don't think we're so far gone that a lot of these things can be corrected, because a person that lose hope and confidence is a person that don't believe in God.
That's good.
You believe in God, then you can't lose hope because you know that anything is possible, and uh, God allows these things to happen uh, under His watch.
Right.
But if you give up hope, giving up hope is that's a sign of weakness. Also,
Right.
God wants you to hold that sword and be vigilant in what you believe in, and stand up and hold that sword of righteousness. So, um, it when things look um when things look like it's uncontrollable, or things look down, and um you have to understand that it's been times throughout history, in different parts of history, the dark ages, and even slavery. I'm pretty sure some slaves sat on a fire and had this kind of conversation and said,
Right.
do you think that we ever be normal again? And
Right.
the only thing that those people had was God. That's the
Was
only
God.
thing they had.
Right.
Our great spiritual and our great song came from. That's the
Right.
only thing. Those people have nothing else but hope in God. And
Right.
I'm pretty sure, like you, of course, they went on Zoom, which, but
Right.
I'm pretty sure that just like me and you, they thought that it was grim and it was no hope, and this is just how it's supposed to be because we are too far gone. But those people prayed and believed their way out of that situation. So we go through cycles or whatever, and uh, we don't know God plan with this, and
Right.
just to try to understand a mighty power like God is unfathomable. But we have to know that it is a plan, because just like that grim time in history of slavery where those slaves thought, and they went through it 400 plus years where they thought it was a no hope, and they
Right.
thought that this just got how it's supposed to be, but things got better. They prayed their way out of that situation, cause at the end of the day, uh light always overtake darkness. It may take a while, but light always prevail. Good always prevail against evil.
Woo,
So
that
with that concept, that give us a glimmer of hope, but we must hold that sword of righteousness and fight for good, fight for Him, and know that anything is possible with God.
woo, that is, look, we could go home now. Because that is the
All right,
main
man. Good
thing
night.
right there. That's the main thing right there, because like you said, it is hope, you
Mm.
know. Um and just and that image that you gave about the slaves sitting under the tree or sitting at the fire talking about the same thing, do
Right,
do we feel like we gonna ever get out of this or whatever? And
right.
and even when they got to the Red Sea, they didn't know what they were gonna do, and God
Yeah.
parted the Red Sea. And it's like, we know that God can change it. And like you
Mm.
said, one thing we gonna have to do is pray, because that's all they had back then and they got out of it. So what we, like you said, we're in this cycle, and we have to
Right.
be able to do the thing about it. And one thing that you had said earlier about a leader, God is gonna have to raise up someone that can stand and say, okay, my people, it's time for us to move to the next level and get from this, because it's almost like we under slavery when it
Right.
comes to gun violence, because
Right.
you don't know, and you can be at the
Mm.
store, or you can
Right.
be in your house, or you can be at church, or you can be
Right.
wherever, and these people come in because now
Mm-hmm.
evil inside of them. Now I'm mad because I might have was molested by so and so that went to the
Right.
school years ago with me. So now I'm the whole school because they didn't do nothing
Right.
about it. So now is you never know. You could be, I had a cousin that was, she was working, well, not working, she was doing I ain't gonna say her name, but she was at a beauty school, and she was just getting ready to take someone home, and her boyfriend came and shot both of them, shot and killed her, and she got shot. And so, and that was years ago. So
I remember,
imagine now, got these evil people that are just evil for no reason. They mad because, whatever. So now I'll shoot up. I'm gonna go kill. So like you said, all we have is God. All we have is, we can't understand his plan, because I know he do have a plan, but
right,
all we have is him when it comes to this gun violence, you know.
right,
And I
right.
was sitting there thinking, I was like, man, we have um even in order for us to be able to go to church now, we have to have somebody that's there with a gun in case
Right. Yep.
somebody want to come and shoot up, or you got to have some kind of security, when you do this or do that. And it's the gun violence, like you said, it's hard to say, because it's everywhere. It's hard that like you said, it's gonna be hard for people to get it under control. But so what are your thoughts when we do say gun control? Because a lot of people on here is they trying to figure out what to do. We got to write a law or whatever. What do you think when it comes to gun control, how we can handle that?
Um. Well, I, I'm a gun owner. I have been a gun owner, responsible gun owner for a year. Um. So I don't think that actually abolishing the gun, the right to bear arms, is gonna solve anything yet. Um. When you are in a society like we're in, um, it's something in the animal world and the human world called adaptation, where if you take a particular animal and put the animal in a cold environment, it will, when they have babies, it'll start adapting to the environment. It'll start growing fur and more thicker coat or hide. So I think that we are in a situation where we have to adapt to the situation that we're in.
Right.
I wish that they would never have gone, because if you look at other countries like England and other countries that have strict gun laws where you can't have guns, their police really don't even carry guns. They
Right.
walk around with a stick. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the United Kingdom or England, they only had like 2 or 3 gun deaths last year versus our, half
Wow.
half a million, yeah, like versus
Wow.
half a million gun deaths. So now I think that is smart legislation that they can do, like a banning assault um, weapons, certain magazines. Like I don't see anybody that'll need a 100 round clip for really anything, especially not hunting. Um, but that's a touchy subject. We're here and we know it's evil people um in the world. And I mean, just because you're a spiritual or religious person, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't uh, protect yourself, because
Right.
it's with people
Exactly.
that carried swords. That was their weapon of choice um, back in the day. So I think that the gun is not the problem, because if you just look at a gun is basically a piece of plastic or a metal that some human made out of a killing device. Um, you know, and you can. That's why I always tell people it's a yin and yang of everything. You can take anything and weaponize it. You can make it out of a weapon, something innocent as a toy. You can
Right.
actually out of there for a water hole. You can strangle someone. But so I say that to say that we have to change our mentality. Mental illness is one that one thing that we need to work on. I noticed that just talking to people at my job and just talking to people on the street, I see more depressed and people with anxiety more
Woo.
than I ever seen in my like. I see a lot of people
Right.
walk and they're depressed and they have anxiety. And it hits me when I talk to these people who are like, where did that come from? Well, just to tell you shortly, my thoughts is um you can be depressed um if you looking at a small device like a phone and the whole world is open up to you and you're getting okay. Back in the day, we got advice from grandma, auntie, the drunk outside,
Right.
the little bad boy that I always knock on your door in the morning, and the
Right.
teacher, mate. That's it.
Right.
Now the world open. You can really see anything at any given time. You can
Right.
get bullied from the world. You can see people with better clothes than you. You can see
Right.
people who will tell you about what you need to be doing about your man, what you're doing
Right.
about you, why you dressing like this. Uh,
Come on now.
so you're getting evilness. You're getting microwave evilness. You're getting 5G evilness. That's what I call it. You're getting
Right.
5G, and we don't understand the way that is mentally affecting us.
Right.
Uh, because, like I said, back in the day, you was getting advice from grandma and auntie, and these people, um, they 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 didn't have degrees, they wasn't the smartest people in the world, but what they had was spirit. They
Woo.
had spirit because your grandmother or your great grandmother can something could be going on and she could sit in that chair and she could hum. She could just hum without saying nothing. And you would feel the spirit come.
Right.
Like it would just hum. And you would know either everything gonna be all right or everything is not all right.
Right. Right.
You could always sit at the footstool of grandmother and mother and you can learn. Now
Right.
we have, excuse my French, but clowns and idiots raising our kids, man.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where a lot of this anxiety and depression is coming from. Because
That is so
if a
true.
kid doesn't act like another kid or wear these clothes that another kid is wearing, they would just have to deal with those 20 or 30 kids in their middle school, and
Right.
that's it. And come home. Now you can get bullied from
Social
everywhere.
media. Right.
You, our kid didn't know where Gucci and Louis Vuitton was and all that, but now they see it and they want
Right.
it.
And they
And if
want it.
psychologically they feel like I'm not beautiful unless I have this or I don't have that or whatever.
Ooh,
So
that's so good.
our emotion is eating our kids and us alive. So
Right.
really have to think about when they said that the mark of the beast will be under the skin and there's gonna be a computer chip controlling us. What was scripture talking about? And I think scripture fulfilled itself, and it is this technology that is ruining mankind.
Ooh, ooh.
Because
But you said a mouthful.
I know tribes that's off the grid, that they stay in a jungle environment, and they got very little technology, and you don't hear anything about them.
Right. Right.
So so it's it's technology and being rich with foolish trinkets better than living off the grid. So
Mm.
I seen a special about the people who still live the same way that their ancestors lived, And I noticed one thing about those people, they didn't have any cars and they wore their tribal face paint and the man had to wake up in the morning and go hunt. I noticed one thing about every one of those person. They
Mm,
smile. Every
wow.
one of them. These beautiful, pretty white teeth coming from these beautiful people. They didn't have no
Right.
cell phone. They didn't have nothing. That
Wow.
that in our sense, we think that they didn't have something, but did they really have nothing?
Right.
Yeah, they had something. They still had their dignity, their spirit, and that's something that
Right.
we're losing. We're losing
And
it.
man, and I'm telling you, like I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head, especially when you said how, the pressure, because a lot of like this mental health is coming from people being able to see things and they comparing themselves to, oh my God, they 40 something and they got millions and I should be this and that and all that stuff. And and that makes a big of a difference because you compare yourself to the next person. And like you said,
Right.
we didn't have to worry about that. We had grandma, we had auntie, we had the preacher. We might have had a few people that was at the beauty salon that made us said something or whatever. But I was telling grandma the other day, and I had went over there. I had to take mama over there, and I said, Grandma, I just feel so peaceful when I come over
Mm,
here.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know even grandma at 100 years old, she still can have that hum, like you were
Right.
saying, that kind of make you
Right.
feel like everything is gonna be all right.
Right.
Like, and a lot of people are losing that. They are losing that spirit. They are losing that because of, you got even some 60-year-olds that are competing, you know,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
like that man that went and shot at the university, the black
Right.
man. Like, you are old. I think he was like 50 something years old. And
Yeah.
you go kill these people in the university and people trying to be successful in life, you know
Mm, right.
and and it's because you ain't made it to the point where you want to be. So now you want to be mad and you want to go and take it in your own hands, because you don't had this demon or this evilness telling you that, oh yeah, go kill him, you know what I'm saying, or whatever,
Right.
who knows. But like you said, we didn't have to experience a lot of the stuff that these young people experience. And I mean, man, that what you said is such an eye opener, because we have to look at where we have to look at how we are using this technology. And now that you say it, the mark of the beast, it could be this technology, because a lot of the things that in the Bible it say it's going to be a certain way, but we don't know how it's going to come, because of the change of the time and all that stuff. So we don't know exactly how it's going to be, but it can creep up inside of us. We get those spirits from looking at certain things online. I was looking at a show, and I'm telling you, I started feeling like a certain way because I was binge watching it, and I ain't gonna
Right.
name the show, but I was
Right.
binge watching it, and I was like, man, like I was asking God, why do I feel disconnected from you? And it was because
Mm,
I had sat there and binge watched it and didn't really communicate with God, even though it was just one day that I just binge watched, maybe 10 shows. And I was just like, all my mind was like not connecting with the spirit. You know what I'm saying? And I had
right.
to realize that it took me, I'm talking about it took me all day to realize. I was like, my God, that's what it was. So, these shows and these phones and these, social media, that, like you said, they, the kids look at, we didn't know nothing about no Gucci. What
Nah.
we had back then, Tommy Hilfiger, or or whatever. But we didn't. It wasn't a need that we had to get those things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because we didn't see many people with them on. you know.
Right. Right.
We
Exactly.
didn't have to
Exactly.
worry about it. When we went to school, we didn't have to worry about the simple fact that, they might have on Jordans and we don't.
Right.
We didn't have to worry
Right.
about that, you know.
Right.
And so
Right.
now, these kids, they are growing up and they are embedding in their head that they need this stuff. Like you got to have
Right.
it. If you don't
Exactly.
have it, you ain't nobody. You know what I'm
You ain't
saying?
nobody. There you
and
go.
it, and
There
it
you
and it does bring about anxiety, and it does bring about depression, and it does bring about this, even relationship wise. You get
go.
on
Just
there
finna say exactly.
and you see
Exactly.
this happy couple, which you think they
Yeah.
happy.
Yes.
They ain't
Yes. I was.
happy. You know what I'm saying? But you sitting there thinking they happy and you want the exact same thing. And if your relationship ain't like how it look online, now you feel like you ain't got a good relationship, you know?
And another thing, um, uh, um, since you brought up the relationship point, online, sometimes is kind of telling a lot of these women and men exactly what kind of mate to choose.
Right.
I know a lot of women that you know, can fall wayside and look at a video or a movie and see what they would be portrayed as a man,
Right.
the rapper type,
Right.
hardcore, oh girl, he fine and all this, and and they're putting that image of this is what a man is supposed to be.
Whew.
Now we gonna go back in the day to when we saw what a man's supposed to be about how hard he worked. We
Right.
looked up. We our A lot of these older women, when they were coming up, they saw granddad working his finger to the bone to
Right.
provide family. They saw real men that could raise 9, 10, 11 kids and
Right.
work out. That was their depiction of a man because they didn't, and it would have been different if they had a social media back in the day and would have saw their dad or their
Right.
granddad, and they would have had something to go against that. Back in the day, they didn't have anything to go against. Now you can have what society would call a plain man that will
Right.
work hard, take care of the family, and love you forever. Well, see you turn on the TV, you got something going against a God. You got something that telling these women when in their head they'll see what they should have, then
Right.
they'll turn on TV and then they'll see what uh, the social media or the TV is telling them what they should have. So
Right.
our girls are growing up confused or whatever, and
Right.
they're seeing more men in negative light than um, more positive men. So 9 times out of 10, the negative men are winning. Now, I'm gonna tell you this. Now, our boys are seeing that these are the men that these girls are picking, so therefore
Right.
they're turning. So you
Right.
could be a guy want to be a school boy and you want to do what's right, you want to get an education, but you could psychologically see that is not popular, and so you could be a boy to be like, well, I'm gonna be this. If I do this, then people like me. You
Right.
understand? I get more girls, or I get more attention. So
Right.
they're not putting Cliff Huxtable out in front anymore.
Right.
They're putting these positive, larger than life male figures
Right.
in front of face. They're
Right.
putting rappers and drug dealers in front of our kids' face with no explanation of that. This is just pure entertainment, and these women fall for it, and
Right.
and
Right.
it doesn't end correctly. Now, in other cultures, other races, or whatever, we're gonna use the Caucasian or the white race. If you turn on their show, they we're gonna say a family that listen to predominantly country music. You
Uh-huh.
got the the country guy who got it, just him and his truck, and he's got wood on his truck, and he go to work all day and
Go in the
shoot pool
field, go do the
go in
farming.
the field on a tractor
Mm-hmm.
with a straw hat or whatever. Those are the guys that they're getting. That's why their marital situation is better than us. Now you want to now go to the Hispanic. They got they're showing where their guys are roofers and fixing fences and picking fruit or whatever. So
Right.
they be like, oh heck, look real sexy picking peaches. So they go find them a hectare, and then that's why they're prospering. But
Right.
when Keisha look at the TV, she see Roscoe with his pants hanging down with 30 gold chains and 50 gold teeth, and that's what she deem as a man or whatever, and that
Right.
fails. So
Right.
we are spoon feed our kids death and negativity, and we
Right.
are the only people on God's green earth that are killing our culture and our people from the inside out. We are single-handedly destroying our own people.
Right. And it's
We
so
have the
sad.
it's
It's
sad. It's sad. Yeah. It's sad.
it's
We have the minds of the people who killed us, who everything that was done in slavery back in the day, in a sense, is done by each other from us now. Because
right.
I'm finna make a point.
Mm-hmm.
Now the slave master, I'm gonna try to be less graphic. The slave master would take a woman and he would have his way with her, whether it be by force or by just conning her, and you
Right.
know, you know, just she couldn't say no or could, but
Right.
he was doing something by sleeping with a maid slave master. He would have babies by her, and he wouldn't take care of the baby because he couldn't. He had a
Right.
situation. So it's a lot of women. It's a lot of women, black women, that was impregnated by the slave master multiple times. That's where a lot of mixed race people come from, and they would just leave the kids because they weren't gonna take care of.
Right.
That's the thing that a lot of us are doing today. It
Right.
was a lot of slave masters that would see one of us and just like us for no reason and hang us and beat us to death. That's the same thing we doing today.
Right. Right.
It they would see it would be a slave master that would see a family and just talk down on us and treat us cruelly, and that's the same thing we doing today.
Right.
So we have the mind of people that colonize us, and we have put their mind inside of us, and we're doing the same thing that was did to us. We're doing it, but we
Right.
have to be smart. We
Right.
have to be smart.
Right. And
Right.
the thing about it, they put it on social media, like like we say, and then next thing you know, our people are looking at it and they getting depressed, and now you want to go kill.
There you go. Right.
So it's a chain effect. You know what I'm saying? It's always in anything, it's always a chain effect. You know what I'm saying? We have to find
Right.
the root cause to what the problem is, and getting back to gun control. We have to find how, the root cause of why, gun control is not even being, used or being utilized as well as it should, as well as they have it. We have to figure out why, you know. And like you were saying, I feel like we are killing ourselves,
Right.
even though, like, we have people that get illegal guns, and now, you as a drug dealer, are you selling them for money instead of saying, I don't want this gun to lie in the wrong hands,
Right. Right.
and doing what's right about, by it. Of course, we always got the evil people out in the world. It's gonna always be evil people that that are not willing to do what's right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if we have to get back to the point of where we can figure out how gun control can help everybody. And like I was saying earlier, I said, look, if everybody get a paper to carry it, ain't nobody gonna want to come up on you because they don't know what you got. You know,
Mm.
I ain't gonna.
I disagree with that.
You do?
Yeah, people crazy.
People are crazy.
Yeah, because people already don't know if somebody got a firearm or whatever. They still, you know,
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I think more guns would be, it'll be terrible. And the reason why I say that is because think of a time that you were so angry in your life that you just lost it. If you had a gun at that moment, you probably would have pulled it out.
Probably.
You see what I'm saying?
Sure. I mean, I'm no. You're right. You're right. You are right.
I know that I, lost control of myself, and I don't know what I would have did. So, I don't think giving us more killing tools is the
right.
It's like we shouldn't have more guns. We should have more books. We should have more role.
Honey. That is so true. We need more role models.
We need more role models.
And I think if people would take their platform, instead of trying to show off what you have, materialistic, and they show off what kind of brain they have, or what kind of, I want to help change the world with my platform. And you ain't got to be just, walking around quoting scriptures or whatever, but you can be positive and take your platform and say, okay, you know what, I want to be positive. But like you said, women look at what is online and say, I want this, so now more people are going to act that way. They're going to act according because I want the girls, I want the money, I want the fame, I want people to look at me instead of let's help change the world. Let's help, let's help raise our children, because our children are our future.
Right.
And, and I was saying, I tell my children all the time, the enemy wants to come and steal kill the children. And I think that's why a lot of mass shooting is happening in schools, because if he can kill the future, then we ain't gonna have nothing. You ain't gonna have nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna get old and die. And if our children are getting killed and they instilling in our children that, oh yeah, we need to kill, go kill somebody because they wronged you or they mad, they killing each other. Right. So the enemy say, okay, yeah, if I can wipe out the future, then I done got half of the work done,
Right.
And so and I think that's why the enemy is, the devil is targeting, the schools. And so that was, the last question that we're going to talk about is, like what the future looks like for our children, trying to be able, or for us, period, that's trying to be successful in life, that's trying to, go to school and have an education and be able to grow and be successful. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think that the only thing that you can do, I mean, I don't mean to sound grim, but I mean, I'm something what I call a realist, and I just see things how I don't try to sell people a dream, but I think the only thing that we can do as an individual, as a people, is pray, try to raise our kids in the best manner, try to educate ourselves and our kids.
Right.
Smart, try to be smart, think, and just live life. So at the end of the day, that's all we could do. Is just live life. Believe in God.
Right.
Whatever God you serve, believe in God. Treat people in a respectful and nice manner, Educate
Mhm.
your educate your kids.
Right.
What 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 our future holds, me or you don't know, nor anyone. But
Right.
we can't shape um the future of others. We can help shape our own future, and just pray to God that He'll have watchful eyes on us and our family, and um you know because for a person to say, well, I know it's gonna get better, I know it's gonna get worse, we don't know. But I'm telling whoever listening that we must change our mindset. It's not working. What we're doing.
Right. Right.
Other races
Right.
are not killing themselves. I don't care what nobody say about, well, yeah, and well, we got put in a messed up situation and they did us like this. That's making excuses. That, that's making excuses. I
Right.
think I think that if you do the crime, you should get locked up. You should get long lengthy sentence. I'm not with this.
Right.
Uh, let's be lighter on criminals. Let's get now. We need to lock them up because that's what they supposed to be. Certain people shouldn't live amongst the civilized. If you want to
Right.
be a savage like people will, then we're gonna put you in a cage like a savage should be.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
you can't pacify some people. Some people are too far gone. Only thing that we could do is work on ourselves, because it's just like when someone told me, I can't save you, man. You got to save yourself. You got to come to God with your heart. You have to do it. I don't think I could do it. Give you the information, tell you the joy that I feel, and pray
Right.
for you and pray that you make that change. So
Right.
I don't know. I don't have a magic wand to make everything better. The only thing I could do is say, only thing we could do is pray and hope for the best. Go to sleep at night, pray to God that He wake us up. Try to be happy. Try to do a good deed every day. And I
Right.
think, whatever God will live for yourself and your family, that's what it'll be. But for
Right.
now, be happy. Be
Right.
happy. We stay in a world with so much unpredictability, that live in that moment, live in the present. Don't live in the past, don't live in the future. And I always tell people that the way you live in the present dictate how the past was. If you was a terrible person in the past, or you was depressed, or you was a sad person in the past, if you fix all of that in the present, then you erase all of that. If you still holding on to those thoughts and you
Woo.
still the same person, then you living in the past. What you do in the present dictate the past and
The
the
future.
future.
Woo. That is
So
so good.
you can sort of kind of wipe out the past by living righteous in the present.
Right. And headed towards the future. Wow, I like that.
There you
That
go.
makes so much sense. And
There you go.
and what you were saying about teaching the children, in Deuteronomy 6 and 7, it says, you shall teach them diligently to your children, and shall talk of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise. So basically, we have to always be kind of trying to train our children and let them know what's right. You know, we can't sit up here and try to worry about, like you said, the future. We have to worry about what's now. And what's
Right.
now is making sure we are preparing our children and trying to
Right.
keep them from the past that they have experienced. And we're gonna move towards the future. And I love that what you said about, how the way you're living now dictates the past and the future. Because, like I tell people always, if you're living your life the right way, you're gonna end up in the right way. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You can't sit up there and think that you're gonna be doing bad and you're gonna get something good out of it. it don't work like that.
Right.
Um,
Right.
a lot of people think that, oh, I can do evil, I can do, I'm all right, long as I don't get caught, or long as
Right.
it, no, honey.
Right.
And
Right.
like even with people that, just say for instance, you see people that have done drugs in the past, but when they
Mm-hmm.
change their present, when they change it now, it
Yep.
changed up everything. It
Yep.
erased everything that they
Right.
went through, you
Right.
know.
And scripture says it.
Right.
Once you come to God, then all of your sins and all of your
Right.
deeds are white. So even scripture said exactly what I said. If you're living righteous in the present, it wipes away the past. So
Right.
that's where I live. I don't live for the future. I live for the present because the present turns into the future. There's no such thing
Right.
in the future because it's constantly the present. Like as time tick by, like when a couple seconds go by, we in the present, present,
Right.
present. So
Right.
live for the present. Other
Right.
people call your future. Other people say the future, but you can't say future of your life because you constantly living in the now.
Right. Right.
Every present, everything.
Everything.
Because about an hour ago when we first got on, that was the past. Well,
Hmm.
now it's the present,
Right.
and
Right.
a couple that tick by is the present. So you
Right.
always live in the
You have
always
to.
live in the now. Right.
That's
Don't
that's the,
let reality and let time uh dictate the future. You don't dictate the future because you're living in the past, making the future. But that's a whole other subject. We could talk for hours
a
about
whole
that. I got
nother.
a whole theory about that.
we
But
we're gonna have to do that. We're gonna have to do that. But
oh yeah,
like I was saying earlier, the teachers are so scared that, that I wouldn't even be surprised if they start going to school online. Like if they just
mm,
go back to, I wouldn't be surprised if they just say,
mm.
you know what, because it's hard for even teachers now. It's hard for everybody, really, because a lot of people have gotten so scared they don't even shop in person. They do they online shopping. It was even some stores that closed, and you can only buy their stuff online. So, and I'm not sure if they closed because of, the gun violence and all that stuff, but it's just the simple fact that that's where we're headed to, you
Well, I
know.
disagree. I disagree if people start doing that. Even
Oh yeah, I don't want that to
here,
happen.
here the take they get to school and leave out because we should never give in to evilness. Giving in
Right.
is like I said before is basically not believing in God, but you fight. If our ancestors would have gave up, then we probably wouldn't have been here. If they didn't, if they would have thrown their hands up and said, "Well, this how slavery gonna be. We just gonna be like this."
That's
Those
so
people didn't give
true.
up.
That's
Neither
so
should we. You never give up. You always keep fighting. And in the
right.
process, you die fighting, then you die for the next person to your spirit gonna live on, man, and your words
Right.
gonna live. You was the right
Right.
person, so uh, um, um, you can hide in the house and have a heart attack. You know, you can
Or, or you could be in the
but
house and somebody come shoot you, child.
now but you still be sensible. Now I'm not saying just go to the store in the hood and be like, well, I ain't gonna let these folks get me. I'm finna get be have sense now. You got to use common sense. Be smart.
Right.
God gave you knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So be smart and sensible. But what I'm saying is, we as a people should never give in to evilness enough, because we all know that the light always win against the darkness or whatever. We
That's
would
right.
not let ever Lucifer, whatever we call it, we would not let that negative energy win.
Right.
Positivity will always win, and positivity always does win.
Always win.
Al- and that's something that people should repeat and think about every day. Positivity always win.
Right.
Always.
Always. Always.
Not There's no way you could contain light. Light always win. because I'm gonna tell you something, and a little positivity. In other words, a little light can overtake the darkness, because you can have a big room and it could be
Right.
dark with lights. If you light just a little match, it will
A
bring
li-
the light. Will then
right.
you will be able to. So when you, and it said, as I walk through the shadow of death,
Mhm.
so when you in a dark room or whatever, you can light a very small light, and just with that small light, you will be able to see. Now you might not be able to see bright, but if you light another light and another light and another light, then stuff start revealing itself, and then you're able to see. But if you're walking in darkness, you're bumping into things, you're falling over stuff, and you're
Right.
grabbing the wrong whatever. And that's what a lot of these people are doing. They walking in darkness. That's why they can't see the
Right.
glory. That's why they can't see what's really
Right.
happiness, what's
Right.
really positive or whatever.
Right.
So tell people, you walk in that light and you keep that light going, and we gonna be all right.
Right.
We gonna be all right.
That makes so, oh my God. I love that. I love that because, like you said, we will not give in to evil. I was just saying that I wouldn't be surprised because of how,
Right.
this, how
Yep.
these,
Yep.
how these, these people are scared and, and how to, you know, the economy is, the Bible say we get weaker and wiser. So they're, I wouldn't be surprised. And I don't want that because I don't want the children at my house.
Right.
I don't want them at the house all the time. So, but
Right.
I'm gonna end it here because we will be on here talking all night
I'm
long.
telling you.
Did
I'm
you
telling
have
you.
anything else that you wanted to say to contribute to this conversation?
All I want to say is to my people, um, be vigilant, be strong, and like I said, walk with your light. Um, Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Treat everyone kind. Um, do what's right. Um, that natural happiness is a feeling, and peace is a feeling that a lot of us strive for. But you can obtain freedom. You can obtain freedom too. You can obtain peace and tranquility by doing the right thing.
Right.
Pray, take care of each other, take care of your brother, take care of your sister. Um, and like I said, we gonna be all right. We gonna come with some more videos, and we gonna hopefully change some lives and spread some more knowledge. And like, subscribe, share this video, and we're gonna be back with a lot more content.
All right. Well, all right, you guys. And he said it. He ended it. If we learn how to do right and learn how to have that positive light and shed some positive light around, we can take over the darkness. Okay. So, all
Uh,
right. I thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for, like he said, liking, sharing, and commenting. Just let us know if you want to, just give your life to Christ. If you want to say, hey, all you have to do is believe in him and confess. And like he said, keep that positive going. Ain't nothing like having that negative energy that just messes up your whole day. So, but anyways, we thank you and we want you to stay queued for Christ. All right, bye.